This is my needle case. It's like a third generation needle case because the first ones were not as fancy. It was stitched on a sewing machine, but it could be duplicated in black work. And as you open it, you see more decorations. And I have all the needles that I need for my different interests. Sharps for sewing, betweens for quilting, chenille for ribbon embroidery, tapestry needles for canvas work, or what you might call needlepoint, and crewel needles for surface embroidery, various types of surface embroidery. The one I use the most is this little bitty tiny thing because I do very fine work. These are doll needles. These are beading needles. And these are what's called straw or milliner's needles, and those are generally used to make bullion stitches. They're also good for making French knots. I have my scissors. I have an emery board because when you stitch, your hands are rough, your nails are rough, it catches the threads. What I've done is put a little piece of ribbon and a snap. This is 1/2 of a double piece of rubber that you can get at a knitting crochet store. It's meant to protect the tips of your knitting needles. This is just a piece of ribbon tacked down to hold the scissors in place, and that also helps. I come up through one handle and just pinch it to the other handle. These are needle threaders, and I do not generally use a needle threader because I like to thread my needle myself. These are intended for stranded cotton, and if you try to pull something heavy like these pearl cottons through the needle, these are going to break. You need a needle threader like this or this, and those were intended for use with the heavier threads that are used in needlepoint, or canvas work is the more proper term. So don't try to pull heavy cord through a needle with one of these. All you're going to achieve is breaking it. It's too fragile. Then you have threading a needle. Okay. This is a single strand of stranded cotton, and I'm going to trim it. Excuse me. I'm going to trim it so that it has a nice clean edge. I put it between my thumb and first finger. I put it down here on my hand. I pinch this to pull this out into my fingers, and I also push my fingers outward so that I can thread the needle. And I'm looking at both sides. This side is the smaller side. An eye on the needle has a small side and a fat side, and I didn't do it, so let's do that again. I'm going to take one of these. Okay. You look at both sides, and one side is larger than the other. You look where that pink thread went, and you pull the needle down between your fingers, and I didn't do it again. Always when you're trying to show somebody something. There it is. There you go. And that demo is finished.